The Brotherhood's organization suffers from the largest and unprecedented process of fragmentation and division in its ancient and modern history, which goes beyond the declared dispute between the fronts of Ibrahim Munir, the acting general guide of the Brotherhood, and Mahmoud Hussein, the former Secretary General of the group. Disagreement and schisms are not only between two men competing for the supreme leader's chair, it may end in reconciliation between them, within a deal to satisfy one of them to concede to the other. Rather, the matter goes far beyond that. After the crisis within the terrorist organization aggravated due to repeated setbacks and the great collapse of the organization and its role in the region and its loss of most of its areas of influence in the East. The Middle East seized in the absence of the Arab Spring. The group's members' front in prisons considers itself the guardian of the group and the organization, and that it is still the holder of the legitimate mandate to which the Pledge of Allegiance and Obedience was concluded, as it includes among its ranks the last guide of the group, Muhammad Badi, and considers that it is the holder of the Pledge of Allegiance and Guardianship, and the rest are just putschists, while the youth front outside the prison sees in the old men of the organization. The reason for the failure and collapse of the organization, and it is necessary to renew, and it has a reservation on the positions of the elderly of the group, and another front decided dissenting and leaving the group and disavowing it, even by piety and deception, as did prominent leaders in the group in Egypt, Tunisia, and Libya, claiming to leave the group and split the stick of obedience and dissolve the Pledge of Allegiance and Obedience to the Guide. Disagreement and fragmentation within the Brotherhood, for the first time in the organization's history, came out into the open and became prominent. In the past, the group kept a secret over the differences and tried to put together the disagreement inside the group's house and in secret. Conflicts between the leaderships surfaced and concealing differences and schisms became difficult to achieve, in light of a major failure suffered by the group unprecedented in its history. The Brotherhood is one of the most secretive organizations in human history, but the weakness of the organization's members in front of the love of money and power is what made the organization in trouble, after accusations of theft of money and financial and administrative irregularities in managing the organization's wealth, which inflated after the organization looted the coffers of countries that were able to take power in them, such as Egypt, Libya, and Tunisia. The competition for the leadership of the organization exacerbated after Badi's imprisonment and the arrest of Mahmoud Ezzat. Within a few years of the arrest of the guide Muhammad Badi, the conflict began between Ibrahim Munir, the acting general guide of the Brotherhood, and Mahmoud Hussein, the former Secretary General of the group, that is, between the Istanbul and London fronts. Perhaps the dispute between the London and Istanbul fronts is due to an intelligence dispute. The group, which was established as an organization for rent, has engaged in dirty terrorist acts in various parts of the world and has been used in various projects, not the last of which is the creative chaos called the Arab Spring. Despite the organization's experience in communicating with foreign intelligence services, and dealing with double standards, concepts, and even morals, it was unable to reconcile the intelligence dispute between the harboring countries and the supporting countries, with some of the organization's harboring countries abandoning their role in harboring the organization's elements, after realizing that they are annoying and without benefit, and even demanded the deportation of some of them, with the supporting countries abandoning the financing of the organization, due to a regional or international consensus that forced them to abandon the organization. All of these reasons made the news tightened on the now fragmented group between Istanbul and London. The multiplicity of fronts and the fragmentation of the organization confirm the final fall of the Brotherhood project, and jumping from the sinking boat has become a feature of the stage, and the jump has actually begun, especially by the leaders of the second and third classes, in the hope that it will save what can be saved from the remnants of the collapsed organization by escaping to the second bank. Whatever the scenarios for the imminent end of the misguided organization, humanity will be rid of the bloodiest organization in history. The Brotherhood's organizations